it is hot and miserable outside. We've got storms rolling in about an hour. We're supposed to get a lot of rain, so I had a little motivation to come out here and get something done. But as soon as I stepped out of the house, I pretty much lost all that. And so I just wanted to get that trailer cleaned out of some of the debris that was left in there from the slash, just so that didn't get rained on, and just get it in the ditch over here. And that way I could at least say that I got something done today, because I pretty much feel like doing nothing. I don't even know what the temperature is. It's hot in the greenhouse though. Holy moly, I think it was like 110, over 110 in there. But speaking of the greenhouse, last week, on Wednesday I believe it was, the regional sales manager and the CEO of ShelterLogic were in town because one of their main distributors is Menards. And Menards headquarters are here locally. So the CEO and the regional sales manager for ShelterLogic were in town. And they reached out and asked if they could stop over. And I was like, sure, come on over, you know. Just keep your expectations low of, they wanted to see and check out my operation. So I said, well, just keep your expectations low, because everybody that's comes here always says it looks a lot smaller in person than it does on camera. But they came over. It was great chatting with them and hanging out for a little while. And he was explaining to me, the CEO was telling me how about 7 or 8 years ago, they started testing the drying shed, that they were calling it, for firewood, which is what that greenhouse in a box is, that I have. And so he's told me that, you know, they were testing out a couple different things, and the one thing he found, or they found, when doing their tests, and what he suggested for me to do coming up this fall and winter, was they found that if they put a heavy-duty tarp down on the ground, that it helped dry firewood inside it faster, because there was no moisture being pulled in to just the air inside of the greenhouse. So he said, depending on, you know, what kind of results I'm getting, I could try that. And I know I'm on pretty sandy soil back here, so I don't know if any of you guys out there are thinking about picking up one of these greenhouses in a box to start drying some of your firewood with. I mean, it worked great with the mini firewood. I think in the video that I did comparing the results, I said it was 10%, but it was more like 12% on average moisture percentage drop in 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks, 12% drop in moisture with the mini firewood. I call that pretty good. So he mentioned that if this winter, if I'm not seeing, or if I want to try putting a heavy-duty tarp down on the floor and then putting the sides down, and then that way they found that they achieved better results with drying their firewood. But again, he said it was like 7 or 8 years ago, and that's when they were doing the testing, and they found that white color fabric worked best for drying firewood. So again, if any of you guys have been thinking about, trying to find a way to dry your firewood a little quicker and not, go the route of a kiln, because that's kind of spendy, one of these greenhouses in a box might be something to consider trying, because they're not too expensive, and they definitely worked with the mini firewood. That's for sure. So yeah, that was something that was pretty exciting and kind of cool to have happen last week, was to have the ShelterLogic CEO and regional sales manager here in the Woodyard checking things out. One other thing quick I just wanted to mention in response to last week's video about the memberships. I probably didn't quite explain it properly, which is sometimes what I end up bringing something up, and then there's questions and I didn't really cover all the points. But anyway, nothing is changing with anything with the channel. There's not going to be any content that is for members only. I did end up turning on the memberships, and I kind of found a way to make this kind of like a win-win-win, which is always good in any situation. Win-win is good, but a win-win-win is even better. So I turned on the memberships. So if you want to check that out, there's a little join button. The only thing I'm going to do for members is I'm going to give, if you become a member, you get like these little, you get a special little badge by your name. Your name is kind of highlighted, I think, in green or something in the comments. And then you have access to some special emojis that you can use in the chats and in the comments. So small perks. It does give members the option to flex, if you will. It's kind of like the term, you know, if you're a member, you can flex your name with the badge and then some emojis that are custom and only for members. But otherwise, if you're not a member, nothing changes. You're not going to have to pay to see anything. There's not going to be special content that you're going to miss out on if you're not a member. So everything remaining the same for the channel. So that way, if you are a regular viewer, a regular follower from the past, everything stays the same. You win. If you're a member, you get some badges, you get some emojis, you win, and then I win because I turned on the memberships, and now we'll see. It said, I read through the fine print, and I think it's going to be like 60 days I have to wait or something. So, yeah. So I just wanted to throw it out there because, like I mentioned last week in that video, you know, I had a lot of comments like, well, why do you even care? Just do it. But I just thought it would be something that was kind of interesting to bring up and let people out there know when they see that join button, why it is now on. Instead of just turning it on and then, you know, people wonder, what am I missing out on? What does this mean? You know, I had questions about from people wondering if now they had to join and become a member to see anything. And no, that's not the case. Nothing's changing. Everything's remaining the same. If you do happen to want to become a member, the join button is there. It's one of the lowest rates that they allowed for memberships. So I set that really low. And then, like I said, just turned on a couple special little things that you can flex as a member. But no special content, no special live streams only for members, none of that. Everything remaining the same. So just clearing that all up. I just noticed that there is a board stuck up in the trees right there. And that was not there yesterday. Little Boss Man does have a friend over today. They're in the pool right now, but they must have been back here in the Woodyard at some point. So I'm gonna go check out and ask them what that's all about. So if you guys are under this heat advisory, wherever you are, I hope it cools off for you like it's supposed to for us here in about an hour. Hopefully the storms that come through aren't too severe. And yeah, get this heat out of here. I enjoy summer, but I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for the cooler temps and definitely an end to days like today. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, be cool.